And welcome to Board Game Batcave. This week, this game is Machi Koro, the big hit the last couple of years that everyone's playing, I think.
Yeah, everybody.
We've all been playing it for a while now, and we're going to talk about the base game today because there's several expansions. We're going to do it in our normal format. Well, first of all, I'm Chris.
Cheered. Hey everybody, I'm Mike.
And we're going to talk about our normal format of components, theme, gameplay, and replayability, and we'll start on this end this time.
Whoa.
So mix it all up.
For this.
Complainer. Fix his little red wagon.
That's right. So we start out with components. Is that how we do it? Components? Is that right? Okay, components. Components. This is a good game. This is a kind of a deck building game. So the majority of what you're dealing with here are cards. And the cards here are very well done, good quality. The artwork on there is well done. There's a lot of information that they're passing on to you and a lot of information that all the players need on these cards, but it's laid out really well. It's easy to find what you need on there. And then you do have your money tokens and things like that, which they're kind of basic, but it's plenty. It's what you covers all your needs and everything. So for me, I like the artwork on it. It matches the theme, which we'll talk about in a minute. So for me, components is going to come in a nice solid 7.5.
7.5. Really, this game is really just a card game.
Yeah.
Yeah, they put it in this big box to make you feel like you're getting this board game. But that would normally be a mark against it, trying to trick me. But the insert in the box has room for expansions.
Wow.
That always gets bonus points. So they're going to go right back up to where they would have been if they were just the standard board game. And I like the artwork. It's got the Japanese feel and theme, even from the title and everything. You're already expecting a Japanese-based game. And I think Machi Koro means like giant red monster or something in Japanese.
You are just making that
Hey,
up
I
now.
took Japanese in college.
It's obvious.
It's been a while. But the components are good. It's a card game, so that's really all I can go on. And normally I start with a card game at like a 7 and then go judge from the artwork and up or down. And it does have the little cardboard chits for money, which are nothing special, and the dice. But
Do you start at 7? That's peculiar. Why would you do something like that?
because I feel like...
I mean, 5 or 6, I could see that dead average.
Yeah, but
right
you can't
in
go
the middle.
wrong with a card game,
Cards,
can you?
yeah.
It's a card game. It's like already...
That's kind of
If you make the cards 4-sided, you're already halfway there.
it's kind of bigoted. So there's got to be some word
Hey,
for that. You're
you have your
grading
thing
that already
On a curve.
on the curve to start out with.
But there's a
Wow.
lot of, because that's the only component, there's a lot of weight given to that artwork and the number of cards and the feel of the cards. And so,
Blows my mind how you do stuff like that.
I'm a complicated individual. Hey, you want to go first? Then
I
you
do.
talk this man. You talk to this
I don't
man.
like this.
You're just throwing me off.
All chaotic.
I'm going to give it an 8. I'm not even going to
Wow.
explain myself now. So just go.
I really don't like going last at all. Because I realize now I just blah, blah, blah. I talk for like 10
This
minutes.
is a good plan.
And by the time it gets to you, you're like, I agree with everything these guys are.
Yeah.
Sucks. I don't ever want to do this again. I agree a lot with what Big Head Mike over here said.
This is not a camera trick, right?
His girlfriend says like kissing a jack-o'-lantern. I thought the card stock was really well. I dug the art and the graphics on it and everything. It does. It's got an interesting Japanese kind of feel to it. It almost reminds me of a card version of, like I've said it before, like a Facebook game or something.
Oh, yeah, like
where you build your
Farm Bill or
town.
something.
It's like not quite a farm build, but they've got a ton of those games where you build cities and you do whatever. This seems like a card version of that, and it does it really well. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 7.5. You know, because I think some
Did
of
you
it.
start at 10 or did you start at 5?
No, because I realize the scale goes 1 to 10 and not whatever the weird stuff you do or
It's
whatever.
Japanese.
So you start on the right side. Well, then why didn't you start at 10 instead of whatever?
Instead of 3.5.
7.5 because I thought what they did well. They could have done better. I don't know how, but I'm sure something could have been done better to blow my mind. But they also could have done a lot less, you know. So very capable game and better than capable. So 7.5.
Have you seen any of the expansions?
I don't care what you say. Just there's a wall right here.
Well, for that, we're going to go right back over here for the theme.
We go into our second component, which is theme, and on this particular game, to me, the theme really, I don't know what else they could have done with it, you know. So to me, this was about all you could do. This is a city building or a town building kind of a game, a deck building experience, you know. So I'm glad they didn't do some of the other tired, rundown themes that are out there. You know, they stuck with the Asian theme throughout, and I think it works just fine. It's kind of almost like a peaceful theme. I don't really know how to say that exactly, but it's just
very
kind
zen, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of a it's just a. It's a calm game. It's not a real hectic game. It's not a lot of stress or anything like that going on. And that sort of comes through in that theme also. So for me, the theme works okay. It's not a theme I'm crazy about, but it's kind of like Suburbia. Kind of a plain looking box and a plain looking game, and it's sort of a plain idea, but then the strategy takes over and it's a lot of fun from there. So this is a similar game to Suburbia to me in more of a card style. So I think they did okay. I don't really know what else they could have done with that theme. So having said all of that, I'm going to come in at a 7.
See, this is why we don't let him win. Do you
yeah.
see where he went with that?
I made a huge
You
mistake.
did make a huge mistake.
The theme, I'm not.
Yeah, blow me away. Come on. Shush.
No, I picture the theme.
just
It's like it's not a great theme. It's kind of like those old Civilization games or
Exactly.
Roller Coaster Tycoon or something else.
I
where
was
you're-
going to say that it's much like that video game Roller Coaster, or
theme hospital,
yeah.
theme park, whatever.
Yeah.
Where you're basically getting different components to build a larger picture,
Yeah.
and your larger picture has to be work better together to take more money from, you know. The thing I don't like about it is to win the game, you have to build these 4 items. And why building a shopping mall makes you a winner, I'm lost. I mean, it has a little bit of you can understand that when you get the shopping mall built, you get this extra benefit. They kind of went with this is part of why I don't know. It basically comes down to just trying to get everything built before your other buddies does, and you're not allowed to really attack anybody. It's just a luck element where you're rolling dice, and every time you roll a certain number, you have to pay everybody or get paid.
It is. There's a lot more luck to this game than a lot of strategy, really. I mean, you just want to spread your stuff out and kind of play the odds, play the averages, you know, and...
I would not have purchased this game based on theme alone.
Yeah.
Right.
If I had not heard a lot of people talking about it. I did enjoy it, but the theme, meh.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the box says it all. It's just kind of like a neutral colors, and it's nothing
It's a very
shocking.
non-threatening kind of a game.
It's a Japanese game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come in at a 7.5.
Oh, that's different. That's shaking it up right there.
See, y'all both mentioned like happy-go-lucky, non-stressful, helping your karma kind of game or whatever, you know, Zen-like or whatever. And I don't know if that's a good thing. I like games where there's a stress level to it, where I feel the competition or whatever. You know, I don't really know if I care for games too much where it's like, I feel,
We're all winners.
yeah, everybody
It's
gets
not
a
like
trophy. We didn't do that BS whenever we were kids.
We still don't.
You know, second place, you didn't even get ice cream back then.
No.
Nothing. You didn't get no little trophies for
We're
a
making
second.
chips for you.
Yeah. So that's totally off topic or whatever. The theme, I think they could have.
Hatred there.
Yeah. I think they. I mean, you've got to go a certain kind of theme with this game. It's going to be a civilization building. It's going to be a town building.
Yeah.
It's going to be something like that. You know, I mean, you could go with a totally bizarre theme
Don't
like
Doomsday Clock. You're building Doomsday Clock. First one to get it, everybody loses.
Oh my gosh. I was actually going to go something weird, like you're trying to make some weird amoeba or virus and you're developing components to do something weird like that. Go out, you know, push the boundaries of this. If you're going to make a game like this, it's going to be building a town. It's going to be building an amusement park, or a farm, or a hospital, or whatever. It is. It's a components management to build a bigger picture kind of game.
And I've never played Dominion,
Yeah.
but someone described this game as a Dominion type game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true or not. If you say play Dominion,
I think the theme was nothing special for me. It did what it did, you know. And if you like playing this kind of game, that's just one of the kind of themes you're going to get to play with and everything. So nothing special for me. You know, it all worked and it looked good and everything. So I'm going to go like a 6.5. Didn't knock my socks off, but I've seen worse
Oh, yeah.
it was pretty.
resource component management games, you know.
Theme wise,
So-
yeah.
yeah, it looked good. It looked good for what it was. So theme wise, I'm going to go 6.5. Now, Mike, blow our socks off.
Gameplay.
Gameplay. Well, let me tell you. So gameplay on this, we've been dancing around it already a little bit. To me, the gameplay on this, I'm not going to say it's dull, but it's not a thrill a minute, that's for sure. And you're not edge of your seat.
It's not quite Euro, but it's not attack your neighbor either.
No.
Right. No, it's if you play a lot of craps, you might enjoy this because you're just trying to figure out the probability of 6-sided dice if they're rolling one of them or if they're rolling two of them, and so you want to try to have as many 6s and 8s as you can have out there and that kind of stuff, you know. But there's not really. There's not a lot of stress or tension or...
No, but as far as gameplay, there's some strategy to it, but it's not deep strategy.
No, it's not, because it's always going to come down to the roll of the dice, you know. So
you want to play the odds, you want to play the averages, you want to spread your stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it's a game you can figure out pretty quickly.
You're right.
You can even win it on accident, I think.
And a lot of people playing it, a lot of your opponents are going to be doing the same thing you're going to be doing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So it's not like somebody could go like, I'm going to go strategy X. Well, I'm going to go Y and see how that works out. Everybody's pretty much doing the same thing, you know.
Yep. Yeah. If you're an insurance actuary and you like numbers and statistics and probability, this is your game. This is what you're looking at. So it's
like
really.
people.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a gambling game. It's like poker. You play the odds, you play the averages. You know, you know what the
really
numbers
just have to
are.
play the averages in this game for sure.
He really hates being last guy.
I hate being last. I'm an alpha dog. You can't be putting me in the back of the pack. What are you doing?
So I better wrap up so we can get to Alpha Dog here real quick for you. So playability for me, it plays fine. There's no problems with the mechanics. It's not broken in any way. Again, like you said, the cards work really well. All the information you need is easy to find and figure out and everything. But it's just it's my turn. I'm going to roll the dice. Now it's his turn. He's going to roll the dice, you know. So for me, just a little dull, but not bad or broken in any way. So it comes in at a 6.
I think the non-threatening aspect of this game is what's made it so popular. I think there are a lot of people out there who like to have a game that they can carry a conversation on while they're playing.
Wow.
And they just kind of like, so what did you do this week at the club? And
Sure.
what did you do at work? I heard so-and-so was...
Blame society. It's all you
Yeah.
people with young kids now where there are no losers, everybody's a winner. We don't keep score.
Well, I found
it's
myself-
just a game.
In the many times, I played this game quite a few times because a lot of people enjoy that easy to figure out kind of game. So, and I find myself every time I play this forgetting where I'm at. We're talking about something else,
Yeah.
about even another game, and all of a sudden, oh, he's almost done. He's almost winning. Oh shoot, I got to start paying attention here.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like usually I have to win every game. That's my thing. I have to win.
No.
Yes, it's a sickness. But this game, I'm just like, okay, I'm playing another card and rolling the dice. Now it's not my turn no more. And I don't know.
The more you're talking about it, the more I really don't like the wishy-washy aspect of certain games now where it's too happy-go-lucky. Would I rather play a game where I'm not that worried about the consequences and everything is okay? Or you want to play that game where every now and then that table gets flipped over. Friendship over right in the middle of a game. You've pissed off somebody so much where they're like, I'm not playing anymore.
I mean,
That's the kind of game you want to play. Or if they'd be like,
and I don't want to come
Jared
down too
lost
hard.
his mind playing against Mike the other day.
Because when some people
He
like
went
my
out and
wife,
keyed Mike's car after he lost that game. You know?
my wife likes this game, and so when she wants to play it, I'm willing to play it.
Yeah.
It's a fun game. It's just, would I choose it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably not. Not my first choice. But for gameplay purposes, the only complaint I have is that the names of the pieces of the city, like the hospital or the forest or whatever it is, to me don't really mean a whole lot. They're just names stamped on a piece of paper, and so I'm gonna give it a 7. Middle of the road again for me. That's because I rate things high usually.
Yeah. Actually, going to go 7 on mine also. And I've really got nothing to add extra.
Nothing left.
It's, the gameplay is nothing special. Like I said, the strategy is kind of, I wouldn't say minimal, but I mean, we've played a lot of games with a higher learning curve, a lot higher learning curve. Multiple strategies. You can be trying to do something. You can win a game by doing this, or you can win a game by doing that, or whatever. If I look across the table and we're playing this, everybody's doing the same thing.
You're rolling the same dice.
Yeah, rolling the same dice, and you may change some. You may try to buy a couple of other things differently. But a smart player's always going to be playing the odds. You're always going to be spreading out your bets more or less.
If you roll like a 3, or 4 people roll a 3, you're broke.
Yeah.
And then you got I got nothing.
Because, and I don't know, that's maybe another thing I don't like about it so much. Not only is the strategy not stagnant, but there's pretty much a strategy you're going to go with to play this game correctly. The luck element is pretty high for me.
Yeah.
Because it's all dice ridden or whatever, So, I mean, you could just have
It's ridden with dice.
you can have a bad game just because you rolled badly through the whole. And none of that would actually fall on my strategy or whatever. I could just be unlucky.
I blame the dice because I don't normally lose.
So, but I mean, it works well. But it's a couple things I don't like.
It's a nice.
It is.
It's a quilt of a game.
It is.
It's kind of soft, and nobody really loves quilts.
It's like what's the neutral place? It's
Switzerland.
It's like Switzerland.
Switzerland.
It's exactly neutral to me. I'm gonna go. I could go 7 on this, but I'm gonna go 6.5, just because nothing about this knocked it out of the park for me or anything, and it was just average.
We sure
me.
are talking a lot about a game that's just kind of average.
Yeah.
Let's go to replayability and see what you got.
Well, I wanted to make sure he was done with his nothing
He'll
else.
never be done.
Oh,
He'll
yeah.
never be done.
Replayability. For me personally, very low. But to try to rate the game fairly on the kind of game that it is, if you enjoy this kind of deck building, city building kind of a game, well, you know what? You're probably not going to play it that many times either. I think the key to this game, I got to be honest with you, because there's a pretty set strategy to how you really should do it. You know, and the first time I ever played it, I played with somebody who had played 5 or 6 times already, and I could tell how he was just on autopilot. First you do this, and then you know, if you want to play this game well, you just boom, boom, boom. You A, B, C, and there's not much to it. The roll of the dice, of course, that's the only really variable that you're throwing in there. So it's not a very expensive game, and that's where all the expansions come into play. Because to me, this game would get really stagnant really quick.
So if like Ritalin were a card game,
opposite.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. So
really?
Yeah, I gotta
focus
to not be too harsh, you know, but to try to be fair. For me, this is very low replayability for me. I'm giving it a 5. Giving it a 5.
Wow.
Yep, you heard it here, folks.
Ooh. I agree somewhat. I think I think there are certain people, like I said, there's a group of people out there that really like this kind of game. One, that they don't have to feel threatened from other players. They can play and be a social interaction without having to worry about winning.
Not us.
No, it's not us at all.
No.
But I think there's a group of people and that's why this game has become popular. And so, assuming you're those kind of people, it's probably going to be higher than my score. But I'm just going to tell you, my score is probably being a 6. And, if you watch this show, you know that's pretty low for me. So I'm just going to leave it at that. She said everything I need to say.
You just talking about this not being our cup of tea because it's not aggressive. You know, we're almost like, what was that movie? Leonardo, the Gangs of New York or whatever. Whenever they're fighting, and they're like, how do we determine who wins today? Are we taking noses or ears after the fight? That could be describing our group. That's how bloodthirsty we are in a lot of our games. Maybe that's why we're not rating it higher.
Don't play angry.
Yeah, there's a certain type of people that would probably really dig this game.
This is a very popular game.
Yeah, but it
looks nice.
It's not our group, though, because we are definitely take no prisoners, second ain't nothing. Yeah. You know, we're going to win or whatever. And I feel that's what it is. Replayability.
We could add in the whole, if we win, I burn your card out of your copy.
Yeah.
Iron Man.
Replayability for me because it's nothing exciting for me. Things been done a lot. I think there's not enough strategy and too much luck for it. And like I said, for the vibe alone, I don't get an aggressive, I want to play to win this game. If I win, it's probably not going to be my much.
It's like golf clap win.
And everybody's going to, it's like, oh, good for you. You know, you won.
Yeah, now what else you got?
We all tried. I know. So, replayability for me is probably going to be like, I'd play it again if people want to play it. I'm not going to ever suggest it, though. 6.5 for me. I
find I own it, and I think that I find myself every time I play it, it's with a new set of people.
Yeah.
It's hardly ever with someone who's,
hey, the whole world talks this game up, blah, blah, it's a great game or whatever. And be like, yeah, I'll teach you how to play. And you'll play it for 2 or 3 times, and everybody be like, it's awesome.
Yeah. Let's go, what else you got?
Yeah, what else you got? But, you know, a group of us that have already played it before, we're like, we've had our fill. We've been there. We've done that. Yeah.
All right. So I guess if you have never watched our show before, you need to go back and watch some more episodes to determine what kind of games we like, so you can determine if this is a good score for you or not. But we're going to put the score right here, and that's going to let you know what we think about it, and that's what's most important to us. So thanks once again for tuning in to the Batcave, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye. See ya.
Bye.